to talk about this, guys, because I think this. I don't know. I think it might have some different opinions. Bruno's new contract. Bruno's new contract. Saeed shaking his head straight away.
I saw a tweet.
He said
yesterday.
it's the first L.
I saw a tweet, and then I saw a follow-up tweet, which was, "Hey, the Bruno defenders, they're out today,
bro.
man."
They were there, man. Oh my day! You know how many comments? 350 comments. I was like, bro, relax, man. Like, I'm just giving my opinion. You know what I mean? But listen, I'm up and down, Bruno. I'm up and down, Bruno. My thing is here with Bruno, like, I appreciate when he scores goals and assists. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'll still scream his name at Old Trafford. That song's lit. You get me? But end of the day, I thought we were setting a new precedent. For me personally, I thought nobody right now should be on 300 grand a week. Personally, for me, because we're all complaining about why we can't sell players and etc. etc. I just believe right now nobody should be on 300 grand a week after this. So after Rashford's got his and Casemiro, because we're a top 4 club, we're not challenging for leagues. And people can say, "Oh, but he deserves it." But be honest, like top 6 away games, Bruno has not put out one outstanding performance. Maybe Man City away a couple of years ago, but at home he's done his thing. But away from home, I don't think he has. He is a contributor to this team. He gets goals, he gets assists. But I don't believe right now Bruno Fernandes, without looking at certain man's pockets and that, deserves to be on 300 grand a week. But here's the but. I don't blame the reason why it's been happening, because you got to remember Mason Mount is ahead of him in terms of wages. You got Casemiro. No, forget Casemiro because he's a legend. Let's be honest. World football, you can respect that. He's been at the highest level. Then he's looking at Marcus Rashford. He's thinking, hold on a minute. These guys are ahead of me in wages. Nah, I'm not having that. So I think for me, INEOS have probably looked at him and thought, you know what? Just because them two there are on them wages, we're going to have to match that, give him what he wants. But after this, nobody should be on them wages. Can we all agree? After this, nobody. Yes. Bruno's the last player on big wages. Yes, fair enough. But at the start, I was like, nah, man, I'm not feeling it, man. Because I'm like, we don't need to give anyone high wages. Look at Man City, man. Apart from Jack Grealish and De Bruyne, everyone's fairly at a decent level and they're winning the league. Edison's on 90 grand a week and he's one of the best keepers in the world. So that's where my head was at. Not pocket watching, but I just thought for me, I thought we would change it from the Glazers' ways of giving players high wages. When reality is, let's be honest, we're not challenging for the league. We're a top 4 club. Like the wage structure should be similar to where we're achieving right now. And that's all it is. So
yours is less about Bruno's rubbish, why are we keeping him? Yours is why is he on we should be coming away from doing that.
Yes.
Like, all right, after Bruno, no more.
That's it. After Bruno, now I'm like, cool. After Bruno, I'm gonna let it slide, but no more. That's why I said first INEOS L. I didn't even say on the thingy, bro, Bruno doesn't deserve it. No. I didn't say that.
Bruno, I'm slightly different to say. I look at it in a geekish sort of way. I'm like looking at like what INEOS are doing. You've got Bruno on another 1 year. What is it? Another 1 year extension option for another.
That's the thing. He had 2 years with an option of a
That's
further.
what I'm saying.
So this one didn't need to be a rush.
Yeah, I look at it like this, like Bruno, by the time his contract, before the triggered extension comes in, he's going to be 33. So he's not going anywhere else. It's an acceptance that you're never going to sell Bruno Fernandes. Are you going to pick his goals up from his goals and assists up and a captain who leads the way he does anywhere else in Europe right now with our budget? No, you're not. Does he turn up on the pitch, first of all, with no injuries? Yes, he does, which is a massive positive for United. But I look at it as 60 grand rather than bringing another player in to Manchester United. 60 grand a week more on the budget. INEOS are running a business. I just look at it as a bigger package rather than Bruno himself getting stupid wages. And in a way, if you look at it individually, it's incentivizing. It's like, yeah, you can get these wages, but can anyone in this training ground right now stand up and say that you've given as much as Bruno Fernandes has to even earn what he's on right now? There's not one player in that squad that can even argue that point with Bruno. And he is the captain. He's available every week, like I said. I really haven't got an issue with that decision paying him more money. I think he will earn it. I do. I think Bruno Fernandes deserves the pay rise. Should he have been on the money that the Glazers gave him in the first place? No. That's not his fault, though. And the pay rise looks crazy because of what he was on before. So that's the problem you've got.
That's a good point.
KG, some people are saying he's 30, this is only going to end in tears. One of the things you said there, you know, can't shift him, and some people saying he's not that good. You can replace him. Adam's point is you can't right now. What are you saying, KG?
You know, Bruno Fernandes is just, we've seen what life has been like without him. I remember we've had these 4 storms. We said when Eriksen comes in, Bruno's going to be dropped, weren't dropped. We said when Weghorst was looking after the ball, that Weghorst could be the number 10. Everyone was wrong about that. We said when Mason Mount comes, Bruno won't be playing anymore. That never happened. Every single person that they've come in and said is going to do more than Bruno hasn't. Bruno is, the main point is, well, who works harder than Bruno on the team? No one. Is the team better when Bruno's not in it? No. So as simple as that. Like, until someone stands up and says, I can do more than Bruno, I'm more reliable than Bruno. Bruno played out of position many a times. So if I'm in the dressing room and I'm walking around, I'm looking at Sancho, I'm looking at all these players, and I'm thinking, I do more for this team than you do, and I'm paid less. Are you mad? Can I ask you a question, KG? Yeah.
I think for me, though, the only problem I've got with Bruno Fernandes as well is that we play through to him. And I think that sometimes it's like, you get the end result of goals and assists, but sometimes I don't like the process of it. If I'm being honest with you, the constant
is that Bruno's fault or the manager's fault in terms of instruction?
No, I'm not blaming the manager for that one. When he's hoofing the ball when he doesn't need to, and he's just spraying the ball across here.
He's told him to, but then again, if he's not told, the manager, because when he goes to Portugal, he doesn't do that.
What about his goal in the assist in the FA Cup final? His assist in the FA Cup final, I would hold when he gives it to Cobby, you know,
that was brilliant.
Sort of scan or whatever. That's what he's capable of. And I get what you're saying sometimes in the sense that it feels like every move ends up going through him at some point.
Yeah.
But I just think we had a couple of games towards the end of last season where I don't know if I think he was just pulled out the side because he was so beat up. You know what I mean? Because he plays for injuries all the time. And they were like, you just got to come out for the side for a bit. And in those games, we just created so significantly less. And I think with Bruno, if we were to move him on, it would be a case of we don't know what we've got till we don't have it anymore.
I want to move away from that as well, from relying on Rashford and Bruno as our main source of outlets that we rely upon to kind of score goals. Like, I think for me, I just don't know if we'll ever get a overall good team with Bruno Fernandes in it. And I mean a balanced team. That's the midfield's right, the attack's right, and the attack's fluid. Don't
you think if them think so? Basically, you think that Bruno Fernandes would be the one to ruin stuff that's actually good. So say we got the team where it needs to be in terms of how it passes out from the back, midfielders who can run and can close spaces and do what
I think he'd be the one that gets exposed.
A striker. So you think if everything was right in the team, so we had a striker who knew where the back of the net is, could hold up the ball, was like accomplished. Let's say the right and left wing, Rashford was consistent and you know what you're getting and he's top. Let's just paint a picture that between Ahmad and Garnacho is sorted. You know, you got the quality. Behind Bruno Fernandes, of course, Kobbie Mainoo. Let's say we got the perfect partner for him. Wicked on the ball, great. Fullbacks, passing up, overlap, invert, whatever.
I think for me, he stops that.
You think Bruno would ruin it?
Because I think he stops that. He and Rashford stopped that. For me, from what I watched in United the last 5 years, we have to cater towards them two in terms of transition and that kind of fast football, play it straight into the opposite,
bro. I actually think if we had everything else in place, I think Bruno is the perfect cherry on top.
From what I've watched, not for me. But again, that's why I think sometimes he's almost like a net negative. And it sounds crazy because he gets us the goals. And I'm like, cool, I appreciate that. But I think to get where we need to be, Rashford and Bruno, for me, are the two ones that I would sell for this Man United team to become a team. And it might not look right now, but I'm telling you, you sell them two, you make a proper team, Man United, for me, are better. It might not be short term, but in the long run, United will be better. But
and look, there's a lot of people in the chat saying,
listen, it's an uncomfortable conversation. It's an uncomfortable conversation, don't get me wrong, because then you're losing one of your guys like Bruno, who gets you all the goals and assists, and a Rashford who, don't get me wrong, but he's probably one of your first goal scorers